Hello friends, how are you? Today I am going to share with you how is how expensive it is to live in Karachi, Pakistan. This is the month of March 2026. I remember that I had posted a vlog quite some time back in which I had shared with you the living expenses in Karachi, Pakistan, and I had got a very good response. This was the blog in which I had the maximum number of viewership. So thanks for appreciating. And now, after a few years, I have decided to give you the present situation of March 2026. Well, guys, frankly speaking, 2 3 years back, there was a lot of inflation, and we had incurred a lot of expenses on electricity. The unit rates of electricity had gone high up to 75 rupees per unit, and because of that, the electricity bills were quite inflated. And in one particular month in summer, I remember paying around 51,000 rupees just electricity bill. A very normal two people in my household, me and my wife, and we use electricity very carefully, and we run only one air conditioner of 1 ton, and that too not with full use, with limited hours of use, uh, a couple of hours in the afternoon and maybe a little longer in the night, but being very careful. And I remember that at that time my household expenses were about 2 lakh rupees per month, and sometimes even 2 lakh 30,000. From the last 2 years, I can say that the inflation has come down a bit, and it has been a quite a relief for us that I think the inflation was very minimal, and our household expenses had reduced a little. Now, just to give an idea about my personal life, uh, we are just two people living in a self-owned apartment, so we don't have any rent expenses. We never had, in fact, and we have to pay building maintenance, which initially maybe 5 years back was 11,000 rupees per month. It came to 15,000, then 17,000, 18,000, and now it is 20,000 rupees per month, just building maintenance. So that has grown a bit because of inflation, because of increase in electricity bills of the apartment and increase in salaries of the staff, etc. Uh, so now I will give you the breakdown of my expenses in a very simple language, which will be very easy to understand. In Pakistan, normally the economy is not very documented, so a person has to spend 50%, at least 50% in cash, and 50% via banks, credit cards, because everybody does not accept a credit card. You go to any small vendor, they take cash. Okay, so the cash expenses of me and my wife is 1 lakh rupees per month. My wife's share is 50,000 rupees, in which she pays the maid, gives a little bit of charity, and the rest she spends on her personal shopping and dining out with her friends, etc. So she has to keep herself within the limit of 50,000 rupees. I draw 50,000 for myself, and in this 50,000, I normally pay 20,000 rupees maintenance of the building, which is again cash. Then I pay for my internet 2,000 rupees. 1,000 rupees I give for cleaning of my car, and the rest, mostly the cash expenses, day-to-day cash expenses, like some random vegetables. We usually take our groceries from supermarket, pay by card, but then also, you don't we go once in a fortnight, or maybe once, sometimes even once in a month, so we don't get fresh vegetables. So normally I take some vegetables from outside. milk, eggs, uh, bread, and other small things needed for the household. There's some little bit of maintenance. So the rest of the amount I spend there, and this is 1 lakh rupees cash. Okay, from apart from that, then what I spent from the bank via bank transfers. One is the Karachi water and sewerage, that is around 3,500. Then the gas bill is around 1,500. This is only for the SSGC line gas, and if I have to fill a cylinder, I have to spend another 1,500 to 2,000 rupees. That is separately in cash. But now we are talking about the bank expenses, so 1,500 is gas. Then electricity bills, you can say that on an average, in the summer months it's around 35,000 rupees. In winters it is around 10 to 15,000 rupees. So on average you can say that I spend around 20,000 on electricity on an average. Then the bigger expense is the credit card expenses, because I usually use my credit card for the major expenses. In the major expenses, first is grocery. We go to the grocery store to buy our groceries, so that is 20-30,000 rupees minimum, sometimes even 40,000 rupees. Then I pay for my eating out expenses in good restaurants where they accept the credit card. Then there are some buying of medicines, doing some blood tests, laboratory charges, visiting a doctor who accepts credit card. So all these expenses, fuel cost, I fill my petrol or gas, whatever in the car, around 10,000 minimum I require for my car and for my bike. So all in all, it ends up minimum 60,000 rupees for all my credit card expenses, right? And then let me come to other annual charges which I have to pay once in a year. So now I'll just give you a total of the cash expenses, bank and credit card expenses. It comes to around 1 lakh for cash and around 85,000 rupees. Friends, sorry for the interruption. So let me start from where I had left. I have a cash expenses of around 1 lakh rupees, and other bank and credit card expenses come out to about 85,000 rupees. After that, there are some annual expenses which need to be taken care. Like I have to pay my chartered accountant for filing tax returns. Then I've got property tax. Then I've got car tax, some health insurance. So on an average, I have to keep aside 10,000 rupees per month for these annual expenses, which I have to pay on an average 10,000 rupees per month. So now the total comes to around 1,95,000 rupees per month. Okay, now what else? Now I have not given you the expenses which are not fixed, but for which I have to keep a reserve fund. For example, if I have any health emergency or I have to be hospitalized or whatever, so I usually try to keep aside 1 lakh rupees per month. So it is around 12 lakh rupees per annum. This amount should lie in my savings account for any unforeseen circumstances. I need not spend it, but this is a sort of reserve fund which I usually keep with me. And other reserve fund is for buying some appliances, and this has been my past experiences that I at least need around 2 lakh rupees per annum. Per year. In case of I need to change any of my appliances. And then there is a travel fund. I usually travel out of Pakistan maybe once a year, or maybe once in 2 years maximum. So for that I keep aside 5 to 10 lakh rupees per annum. So I have to keep a reserve fund of totally 24 lakh rupees in my savings account for any kind of health emergency, for any travel needs, and thirdly for any purchase of any new appliances. So this fund of 24 lakh is sitting in my bank account, and I need not spend it, but it comes up to an average of 2 lakh rupees per month if I need to spend it. So well, you can see that my living expenses have now come down slightly, and I can run my household in approximately 1,95,000 rupees per month. Living in Pakistan is no more cheap. I remember that when I had first come to Pakistan, maybe we were living on just 50,000 rupees per month. It was so cheap. But everything has become so expensive. Just in this month, I had to, my wife needed to get a dental implant, and she ended up paying about 1,70,000 rupees for her implant, for her bone, adding some bone granules inside, and for some membrane. So this type of medical expenses have become very, very expensive. If you need to visit a doctor, they charge around 5,000, 5,500 rupees just for consultation. If you have to get some blood tests done, then it's sometimes 5,000 to 10,000 rupees for a few tests. So overall, living expenses in Pakistan have become too much, and I really don't understand that how do people survive. And my expenses are quite minimal. They are not extravagant. We live our lives quite with planning and with frugality, and still if I have to spend 1,95,000, I really don't know how a middle class or a lower middle class person is being able to survive. It has become very, very difficult. And then if they have the cost of rent for the household, and fee education expenses for their children, it's a really nightmare. And according to the recent survey, I heard that 45% to 50% of the population is living below the poverty line, which is just 8,000 rupees per month. I know that the wages of the bottom category are still very low. We have got salesmen, we have got chokidars who are working for around 25,000 rupees to 30,000 rupees. How they must be able to survive in 30,000 rupees? It's a real question. Maybe quite a many number of their household people must be working and contributing to the monthly expense, and then only they will be able to make their ends meet. Yes, some people do manage to live on a very low income. For example, they do manage to live in even 50,000 rupees per month, or maybe below also, but I don't know how they survive. But for a middle class person like me, I'm not talking about the rich class, I'm talking about a middle class person, and that too retired. I think 2 lakh rupees is a very, very realistic figure of monthly expenses. Thank you guys. Please do subscribe to my channel and help me monetize my channel. Thank you so much.